come across a buttload of theories about what really happened the night she went to a hotel, partied there, somehow walked into that hotel's freezer, and, well, stayed there. From social media videos to CCTV footage, some of it gives credence to the idea that something nefarious was going on in the Crown Plaza Hotel. Kind of, if you squint. So what really happened to Kenneka Jenkins? Well, in this video we'll go through it all, and see if we can come to any sort of conclusion about what really happened that night. So yeah, let's go. On September 8, 2017, 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins, who also sometimes went by the name Kenneka Martin, and her friends were going to party at the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. Around 11 p.m., Kenneka, driving her mother's car, arrived at the hotel with her friends Monifa and two other friends. Another friend, Irene, was already at the hotel, room 26, on the 9th floor. They then started just having a grand old time in the hotel. There seemed to be loads of people there. It was a full-on party.
Irritated.
Around 2 hours later, so now we're talking about 1:30 a.m. This is when things start to get suspicious. And this is where a lot of theories pop up. Irene, the redhead, posts this Facebook live video.
You funny as fuck, Ruby.
Okay, so I'm not going to play the entire thing, it's 6 minutes long. But what I'm going to do is just skim to the parts when some theories have sprung up and what some people have claimed to have heard on this quote-unquote suspicious video. Listen for yourself. At 25 seconds in, someone in the background apparently says, "We're about to murder somebody." At 2:03, they're still in there raping her. By the way, I presume the reason they were there is at one point, someone on Facebook wishes Irene happy birthday. So.
You look pretty, happy birthday. Thank you.
Yeah, I am a master sleuth, alright. And then, they say they could hear Kenneka say, "Help me," and the music comes back on. That's a strange noise, but I'm pretty sure that's just been revealed to be part of the song. The reason why I wanted to show you that video is that that's been one of the key points for people who believe something nefarious happened, is this video, and the things people claim to have heard on it. Judge for yourself. In my opinion, I don't know if I have a dead ear or something, but I didn't hear anything suspicious in that video at all. But if you go on like YouTube or articles, oh boy, you'll be there all day. In my opinion, it's one of those cases of people hearing what they want to hear rather than listening to what was actually said. That, to me, is something that's going to come up a lot as we look into what happened to Kenneka. Here's another view of the party that night, which seems to be a completely different kind. Now, this would have been an hour or so after the first video, and it's actually in a different hotel room. And are they allowed to be that loud? I'm old.
Don't be so loud.
No, there you go. In this video, you can see Kenneka. She's wearing denim, and she seems fine, not falling around the place drunk or anything. However, I know from personal experience, you can go from merry drunk to falling around the place drunk quicker than you think. Anyway, she seems alright in this video. So I think that debunks the first video when people claimed they heard something nefarious happening when this video was filmed after. She's fine. Nothing happened. So, at 3 a.m, that's when Kenneka went missing. That's the official story, at least. Around 4 a.m, Kenneka's mother said she received a call from her daughter's friends, saying that they lost track of her at the hotel. They are in the car Kenneka's mother, Teresa Martin, had lent Kenneka for the night. And they have Kenneka's cell phone. This is when it kind of gets bizarre to me. Why did they leave without her? So what seems to have happened is that they left the hotel in the middle of the night. Kenneka was there. When they were leaving, they grabbed all their stuff, including Kenneka's phone. Obviously, they have it. But they didn't take Kenneka with them. The story is that when they were outside, Kenneka wandered off. And they just abandoned her. Kenneka's mother would later tell the news media that Kenneka's friends told her she had disappeared after they briefly left her alone in the hotel hallway to retrieve her car keys and cell phone from inside the room. I've also never been able to really find why they left the hotel in the middle of the night. Presumably, if you're renting a hotel room, you're gonna, use it, like, for the night. I don't know. Then, at 5 a.m, still the night Kenneka disappeared, her mother arrived at the hotel. She'd just been informed an hour previously that her daughter was missing. Kenneka's mother asked them to review the security footage and help look for her. She couldn't have gotten far. She didn't. They helped look around but didn't find anything, and Kenneka's mother called 911.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I'm at the Crown Plaza at O'Hare Airport, and I was calling because my daughter came to a party here last night, a gathering with her friends, and now her friends, they say that they left her on the front of the hotel and she's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old. And they said that when her friends was asking them earlier today, like about 4 o'clock in the morning, because they run the video cameras, they said that they didn't have no camera. But now I came and it was a lady, she said that if she heard music, and she asked me that I want to go upstairs, and we went upstairs on the 11th floor, and it was someone came to the room, and she said that she did see my daughter there with a group of girls and a couple of guys.
And they were saying that they haven't seen your daughter since she left, or?
No, I'm sorry, it's a new shift, and they said that they haven't seen her. Well, of course they wouldn't have seen her, because this is like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Do you think it's possible maybe she went to one of her friends' houses, or?
No, actually, because she had my car. She was driving my car. She know I don't like nobody to drive my car because my insurance will not pay for no one besides her. And when they went to get upstairs, she was standing in the lobby, in the front lobby. And then when they came back down, she wasn't there anymore. I'm so sorry, sir, but I just want to know, is it possible that maybe they can look at the camera?
I was about to say, even if I did send an officer, it would take a little bit in order for us to get the camera footage and for us to pass it on to the detectives division.
Okay. Okay. So what would you suggest?
Well, again, the only thing I would suggest maybe just give her a couple hours. She could have went somewhere with one of her other friends. I mean. And who knows what her friends are saying is true, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You could tell her not to be saying, you could tell it don't sound right. I'm a parent. I've been young before. And it's not sounding right. It don't sound right, period. That's why I came out here myself. Because and then it sounded like they had been drinking, honestly.
Yeah.
And I asked them, did she drink? And they said she had only 1 cup. But okay, my daughter ain't the type that normally, she can't even take liquor. We cannot take liquor. We take a sip of liquor, we drunk. Honestly. And I'm like, 1 cup is too much for her,
The hotel seemed especially unhelpful, and the hotel staff allegedly told her they required a missing person report before they could review CCTV footage, which is complete bullshit. In fact, when Kenneka's mother would return later that day to look around the hotel for her missing daughter, the hotel would call the police on Kenneka's mother, Teresa, and her family, who were also helping to look for her, because they were knocking on doors asking. They would call the police on essentially what's a search party while the hotel sat around with their thumbs up their ass. Then, on September 9th, the daytime after this had all occurred, the hotel manager called the police.
The report of the missing person who apparently or allegedly was last seen in our hotel by the room 926. She was threatening that she's going to come with a warrant, that she's going to shut down the hotel.
Okay, what's your name? What's your name?
Then, that night at 12:48 a.m. September 10th, Kenneka had been missing for about 22 hours at this point. Her body was discovered in a walk-in freezer in the hotel. She was described by police as frozen solid. There was no sign of trauma on her body. She had passed from hypothermia. Her toxicology report found alcohol, obviously, and pyramate, a drug known for treating epilepsy and migraines. Her clothes, they were a little all over the place, which some people have pointed out was unusual, maybe signs of an assault, but that's much more likely down to paradoxical undressing. In the later stages of hypothermia, your body will start to feel warm, and you'll just undress, essentially killing you quicker. Her blood alcohol level was 0.112, which is interesting. That's high enough to be considered drunk, but in the footage, which we will get to, she is way beyond just kind of drunk. But, now this is the point that people really need to remember, is that that drug she was on, pyramate, is known to exacerbate the effects of alcohol in your body, essentially making you like 10 times more pissed than the alcohol you've taken. This is apparently the actual freezer she walked into. So now we're going to get into the actual surveillance footage of that night. In this video, you can see Kenneka in the double denim walking through the hotel at about 1:15 midnight. The next video was taken an undetermined time later. Presumably, if the friend's story is true, this is after they left her in the hallway when they went to get her stuff. and she does not look well. And as I said, if she was in this state when her friends left her in the hallway for like a minute while they grabbed her phone and keys and all their shit, that does not look like the condition somebody should be left alone in. Like, she was out in the hallway, she presumably wandered off in that state, and her friends were like, ah, fuck her, she's fine. So she looks to be in a pretty poor state. This video was taken at 2:26 that night. About this surveillance footage of when she was wandering around the hotel, there's been so much speculation, more so even than the party footage, that there was somebody who's in the footage who, or rather not in the footage, there was somebody with Kenneka who was sneakily avoiding security cameras and like dragging her around and pushing her and essentially was with her, that she wasn't alone. Here's one piece of it.
Alright, what we're about to show y'all right now is this dude right here in the blue waiting for Kenneka to come in the kitchen. This man is standing there. He's standing on the side of something.
Let me show you. He's like this to you.
He's standing on the side. And he can
blue jacket.
White hood on, blue jacket. Let me show y'all. White hoodie, blue jacket. I'ma just keep the camera right here. Y'all watch his activity and tell me this ain't a dude. Turn his face.
That does not look like a person to me, and that just looks like kitchen shit. Like not even remotely like a person wearing a blue jacket and white hoodie. Here's another.
And check out the hand that tries to grab her from over in this area right here. So I'm going to take it back and play it in full time. I'm going to keep looping it so you can see the hand. See the hand? Go back. Watch the hand. Watch the hand try to grab her. See it? Watch the hand try to grab her one more time. Watch the hand try to grab her. Right there. Got it.
That just looks like pixelation. I don't see anything there that looks like a hand. It looks more like pixelation of Kenneka that bled onto other pixels in the footage. Apparently in this footage you can see somebody grab her. Again, I don't see it. In the earlier footage she was stumbling wildly, so the fact that she moves like that seems pretty in character for how she was moving earlier. A lot of people think this footage has been tampered with. I mean, the footage when played out clearly shows she's looking up and it's her own face.
That's not Kenneka. That's a hoodie. That's a face. And look at that man. Look at that man. How is her head way up here? Oh my God. Oh my God.
My bad. I'm gonna let it play out this time.
Oh my God. That baby was murdered.
So a lot of people think the footage has been tampered with. On that point, I can't say. I don't know. But in the footage that we do have, I don't see anything that's more nefarious than the already tragic story of what happened.
She's trying to find her way, and no one from Crown Plaza Hotel responds to her. I want all of the recordings, all of the communications, all of the reports, the statements that were taken. I want to know the individuals that were there.
Tonight, Rosemont police say 31 people were at the party with Kenneka inside the hotel room, booked with a fraudulent credit card. Police say they're still trying to identify and find 15 of the partygoers.
Why is Kenneka dead? That's where we need to be. We will get to the bottom of it. We will only go to where the facts lead us.
Kenneka's family attorneys say they will be conducting their own independent investigation. They're also considering a second autopsy.
There are so many people who are looking into it and seeing what they want to see and claiming they saw something and theories and blah, 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 blah. It muddles the waters of what actually happened to Kenneka so much. It's impossible to actually kind of tell what's true and what's false after time when everybody's trying to, you know, wearing a tinfoil hat and picking at single pixels in the very background that are nothing to do with anything. But having said all that, that doesn't mean it's not suspicious. And there genuinely could have been something that happened to Kenneka, but okay, let's keep going with the story. So, a few things. There was an emergency button to release the door latch and let people out on the freezer door. So therefore, you know, how could she have gotten locked in? The people who say that, did you see the footage of her? Because I'm pretty sure she was probably seen quadruple. She had some alcohol in her system and was on a medication that essentially quadrupled whatever alcohol was in her system. Plus, it seems like the light in the freezer was off, so she would have essentially been blind in there. There's no way she would have found it. An activist, Andrew Holmes, who viewed the surveillance footage before Kenneka's mother did, which is weird, said that she wasn't forced into the freezer. Kenneka's mother didn't believe this at all, and it's been claimed that there's much more footage in the kitchen area than has ever been released. The hotel denied this. The footage we see of her walking in the kitchen is apparently all there is. After all this started coming out, there were protests at the hotel. Andrew Holmes asked Kenneka's mother to help stop them, because the hotel was losing money, which is kind of funny, because fuck him.
You know, I was just thinking about Andrew Holmes. He did make a lot of sense earlier when I talked to him on the phone. When he told me the hotel not making money, so I should get up on live and ask y'all to shut the protest down. I should have listened to him earlier, because he did make a lot of sense, huh? You did, huh? But it's okay. I never pointed fingers in the first place if y'all could look through my videos. But it just didn't make sense, and that's what I said from day one. It does not make any sense. So for him to call my phone and tell me I need to get up on Facebook and go live and tell live to stop the protest because the hotel not making money, I guess that one day affected them when nobody rent their rooms. So I guess y'all doing too much, but only thing I'm asking y'all, could y'all please just do it in peace. Don't get them people nothing to talk to y'all, to talk about.
But we want real justice for Kenneka, and we're not leaving until we get it. Justice for Kenneka!
So, despite several calls from protesters for a federal investigation into the death of Kenneka Jenkins, the Rosemont police declined. They finished their own investigation on October 20th. A private investigation into this case also found no evidence of physical or sexual assault. The only injury was found on her foot and leg. She likely bumped into something when wandering around the hotel. Okay, so there's a lot here, and believe me, we're just going to do an overview of this because if we went down all the rabbit holes of the story, the video would be 10 hours long. Stuff like the temperature of the freezer. Why was it on? Apparently another restaurant was using it. The police did a shitty job investigating it. That much is true. Apparently there was a camera above the freezer door. The footage isn't manipulated. There's supposedly much more footage. Some even think the person in the video isn't Kenneka, that it's someone else, and it's all faked. Or that if Kenneka was in the state she was in, she wouldn't have been strong enough to open the freezer door. It's generally believed by a number of people that there was a huge cover-up between the hotel and the police about what really happened that night. There are also some weird-ass reviews about this hotel. And that's where a lot of the theories about what really happened to Kenneka stem from. As I said, kind of mainly the footage, which doesn't really show anything to me. Having said that, there is something strange about this case. I do think that there probably is more to it than meets the eye, but I think people are looking in the wrong place if you're trying to examine the footage, because the footage shows nothing. One theory is that she fell victim to an organ trafficking ring. Apparently, the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Chicago is a hotbed of organ trafficking, but none of her organs were missing. In 2018, Kenneka Jenkins' mother filed a $50 million lawsuit against the hotel, saying that Kenneka's death was entirely preventable. The hotel has denied any wrongdoing. Her death was very preventable. Do most hotels usually allow guests to wander around in the state that she was in, like into the kitchen, into a freezer? This is probably the most frustrating case I've ever covered, for two reasons. One, there is that element of something nefarious going on that night. Her friends, they kept changing the story of what really happened. Apparently the hotel room was booked under a stolen credit card. The second reason is that there's so much conjecture and armchair detectives trying to examine stuff that isn't really there. It's impossible to find what really happened to Kenneka Jenkins, because as soon as you search through anything, you're going to come across a million conspiracy theories and all that kind of shit. As for her friends and allegedly their changing story, I think they just don't want to be blamed for what happened to her. But the real crux of the story is this is an incredibly tragic story of a young woman who passed away in an entirely preventable way. It was pure negligence. It's a bizarre case. It is extremely sad. But I think that's the end of it. A lot of people are trying to find some theories about what really happened because it seems unlikely that a hotel could just let somebody wander around and, in that state, wander into a freezer and lock themselves in. That's on the hotel. That should never have happened. But I think that's what did happen. Let me know your thoughts on this case, because it is a weird one, and it's one that has been debated fiercely about since it happened. And finally, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you'd like to watch some more of my videos, please work away, and subscribe if you want to see future ones. I will see you, as always, real soon in the next video. Bye now.